In the days following the deadly mushroom lunch, passwords were put in place around hospitals and specialist divisions of Victoria Police were briefed. They knew the storm that was about to descend upon them.
3 people are dead and 1 man is fighting for his life this morning after a suspected mushroom poisoning.
Investigating a suspected mushroom poisoning incident in
where
Victoria's
the 4
east.
victims are from is a really small town, just 5,000 people.
In another day of his testimony, Stephen Eppingstall took to the stand to talk about dealing with the media, a Nokia phone, diet books, subway footage and Facebook messages. I'm Brooke Grebert-Craig, and this is The Mushroom Cook. It's day 22 of Erin Patterson's murder trial, and once again, I'm joined by my colleague, court reporter Laura Placella.
I can't believe we're nearing the end of week 5.
Yes, we are. So it was quite a bitsy day in court today. Detective leading Senior Constable Stephen Eppingstall returned to the stand and gave evidence.
His cross-examination continued, and defence barrister Colin Mandy really took him through a number of topics, some of which we flagged at the top of the episode.
Let's start with the media coverage.
This was a topic Constable Eppingstall was asked about very early on today. Mr. Mandy asked him whether or not he agreed that there was significant media interest in this case from very early on in the investigation. He agreed, and he explained to the court that he briefed the Victoria Police Media Unit and holding lines were prepared. He also told the court that passwords were put in place at the hospitals where the guests were being treated. He said by August 5, a week after the lunch, the media were well and truly reporting on this case.
The jury heard that a media release was issued on August 6, confirming the homicide squad were investigating 3 deaths. Constable Eppingstall said a press conference was held on August 7 with Detective Inspector Dean Thomas. Mr. Mandy then asked him whether the media were camped outside Erin's property in Leongatha, including inside her property. And he replied, yes, they did go into her property.
But that's all that was really said about the media, and Mr. Mandy moved on to a different topic.
Yes, let's talk about the search warrant that was done at Erin's home on August 5. We touched on this in yesterday's episode, so Laura, can you tell us what more we heard about it in court today?
So Mr. Mandy really used this part of today's cross-examination to try to pick holes in the police investigation. The court heard today that Erin was not given any notice of the search warrant on August 5. Police arrived at her house, told her what the warrant was in connection to, and began their search. Mr. Mandy asked Constable Eppingstall about Erin's whereabouts during the search, and he said for the majority of the time she remained with him unless she needed to go to the bathroom when one of his female colleagues would take over. He told the court that Erin was allowed to retain her phone because she needed to make some arrangements in relation to her children. He also explained that at one point, Erin was given permission to contact a lawyer from a room at the front of her house with the door closed. Mr. Mandy asked whether or not this was for a period of 14 minutes, and Constable Eppingstall replied that it was his recollection that it was about 20 minutes.
He was then specifically asked questions about a Nokia phone. Constable Eppingstall said he had a conversation with Erin about that device during her record of interview. He confirmed it was not located and therefore not seized.
During this part of the cross-examination, Constable Eppingstall was asked about a number of devices and whether or not they were seized. He confirmed again today in court that another phone that has been referred to in this case, that has been called Phone A, was also never located by police. To refresh our listeners' memories, this is the phone that police say Erin used in the lead up to the lunch, with a SIM card that she had been using for a number of years. Constable Eppingstall told the court yesterday that phone records showed that this SIM card was taken out of Phone A on August 5 at 1:45 p.m, that is the time of the search warrant, and placed into another phone, that being a Nokia. It was at this point that Constable Eppingstall was taken to a photo that was captured during the search warrant by police. It was a photo of an ottoman in Erin's house that was covered in charging cords and what appeared to be devices. Mr. Mandy pointed to one of these devices on the ottoman and asked Constable Eppingstall, "Can I suggest that is Phone A in a case?" But Constable Eppingstall said he did not agree, saying that if that device was a phone, it would have been seized by police.
And just to summarise what Laura said, phone A and the Nokia phone were both not located or seized by police.
Mr. Mandy had more questions for Constable Eppingstall about items not seized from Erin's home. He showed Constable Eppingstall a photo again taken during the search warrant from the study, which he also called the Lego room. Mr. Mandy claimed that 2 laptops could be seen in that photo, but Constable Eppingstall replied, "If they're laptops, this is the first I'm learning of these items," reiterating to Mr. Mandy that during the search, he was with Erin and was not looking for items himself, leaving that to his colleagues.
Now let's move on to Erin's bank records.
This was a very brief exchange, but Mr. Mandy quizzed Constable Eppingstall about how many months of Erin's bank records police had obtained. The court heard they had obtained records from July 1, 2023 through to August 4. Mr. Mandy asked Constable Eppingstall, "No other periods of time?" He replied, "No, and I can't explain why we didn't go back further." Some of her bank records were then shown to the court, specifically in relation to the trips she made to a BP in Caldermead and a donut van later that same day.
On the topic of records, Constable Eppingstall was questioned about the analysis of Erin's phone records conducted by digital forensics expert Dr. Matthew Sorrell.
I feel like it's been a while since we've spoken about Dr. Sorrell's evidence, and today we got back into the nitty-gritties of it. Earlier in the trial, Dr. Sorrell told the jury that he was provided years of call charge records from a phone belonging to Erin, as well as about 20 days of what are called event-based monitoring records, or EBM for short. These EBM records provide very granular detail, he said, and today Constable Eppingstall was asked why police only obtained 20 days of these records to give to Dr. Sorrell. And in response, Constable Eppingstall spoke quite a lot about how costly these records actually are to obtain. And he said to the jury, "To get EBMs for a year, we would be talking well into 6 figures, and my boss isn't real keen when I spend too much money." That comment from him definitely prompted some laughs from the courtroom, and he went on to say that the police have to be really selective and targeted when it comes to these EBM records.
The jury also found out how Constable Eppingstall found out about iNaturalist, and this was after a conversation with Dr. Tom May when they were just generally speaking about death cap mushrooms. Dr. May went on to tell him that he had actually sighted death caps in Outram in May 2023, and he posted this sighting to the citizen website iNaturalist.
There have been several clips of CCTV footage tendered in this trial, and today Constable Eppingstall was quizzed about another one.
Yes, he was asked about CCTV footage obtained from a Subway store in Leongatha on the night of that deadly lunch. He told the court on Tuesday the footage shows Erin dropping off her son at 7:22 p.m. and picking him up 11 minutes later. But in court today, 3 images were shown to the jury. The first one was of Erin's son. The second one was a still of a boy from inside Subway. And the third image was of another photo of Erin's son. Mr. Mandy suggested to Constable Eppingstall that that boy depicted inside Subway in the second photo was not Erin's son. He replied, "I believe it to be him, but it's a matter for the jury."
And that was really all that was said about the Subway before Mr. Mandy took Constable Eppingstall to another topic.
Yes, more messages were shown to the jury between Erin and her online friends. The jury heard there were around 186 pages of messages from this group chat that had been extracted by police. To jog our listeners' memories, these are the messages that Erin was having with these online friends that concerned her estranged husband Simon and his parents, Don and Gail, in the context of the child support dispute that she was having with him. The jury has previously been shown quite a number of these, but today Mr. Mandy tendered more of those messages. This is what Erin writes in one exchange. It's her words, it's not her voice.
"I suspect the best thing I can do is just forget about all of them and live my life. Simon is probably loving how upset I am about all of this."
In response, one of her friends replies, "I'm so sorry, Erin. It's so hard when you're not believed or understood. I went through similar with my ex-in-laws." Mr. Mandy asked Constable Eppingstall whether he agreed that there was an enormous amount of context surrounding these messages. Mr. Mandy also went on to suggest that this was a group chat where a number of the participants were talking in similar ways, venting to each other about their lives. And Constable Eppingstall said that was a fair assessment.
Lastly, the purchasing of diet books were briefly mentioned in court today. Once again, we didn't get a whole lot of context about it.
Mr. Mandy mentioned today that Erin's weight was recorded when she was admitted to Leongatha Hospital on July 31. After that, he told the court that police had obtained Erin's receipts from the online bookstore Booktopia. He then asked Constable Eppingstall whether he agreed that a large number of the books Erin had purchased related to diets. He said that was correct. At the end of the day today, Justice Christopher Beale told the jury that there was an issue that needed sorting out before Mr. Mandy could continue the rest of his cross-examination with Constable Eppingstall. So it's expected that he will return to the witness box tomorrow.
To stay updated on this case, go to themushroomcook.com.au.